You've spent hours and hours finding the perfect, low competition, high volume, long tail keyword to write about. You then spend even more hours researching and writing an amazing blog post. You top off your masterpiece by adding in pictures, interlinking, and adding in those juicy affiliate links. You sit back, click publish, and wait for the blog post traffic to roll on in. But unfortunately, you get an underwhelming amount of blog post traffic each day. If this sounds familiar, then don't worry, because we've all been there, including myself. That's why in today's video, we're going to show you 4 proven ways in which you can use right now to help you get more high quality and consistent traffic to your blog post. And this doesn't include waiting months or years for Google to rank your post to then start getting traffic. We're going to show you 4 proven methods that you can use today. So the first method is to utilize Facebook groups, Quora, LinkedIn, Twitter, and any other social media that may be relevant to your blog post. So for instance, if I have a beauty blog and the post that I wrote about was about skincare or makeup, what I would do is I would head over to Facebook and I would go to Facebook groups, and from Facebook groups I would search up whatever that blog post was about. So again, as you can see, if we search up skincare, you can go through and you'll see a lot of different Facebook groups, and you're just going to read the description of the group and make sure that this is relevant to your niche or to your blog post. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to join all of these groups. You want to make sure that you're answering these questions, and you want to make sure that whether or not these groups allow you to do self-promotion or not. So sometimes they may allow you to post a blog post or a YouTube video, and sometimes they won't. So just go through and you'll be able to find a good amount of Facebook groups that allow you to post your blog post. So if you look at these groups, there's over 70K in this group, 44K. This one has over 1 million people within those groups. So as you can see, if you're a part of one of these groups that has a lot of people, when you post a link to your blog post when it's live, you'll get a lot of traffic from these different Facebook pages. Another method is utilizing Quora. So in order to utilize Quora, what you need to do is head over and you'll want to search up whatever your blog post is about. So sticking to the example of skincare, as you can see, when I search up skincare, there'll be a bunch of different questions, answers, posts. So usually if you go to a space, and you'll want to find a space that has a lot of followers. So right here, as you can see, skincare and hair care has over 63,000 followers. So what you'll want to do is go into these spaces that have a lot of followers, and you're going to want to engage. So once you're scrolling through the space, you want to find a question that's relevant to the blog post that you just created. So for instance, this person asked about their hairline going back, and they're asking, how can I stop hair loss? So if this question is relevant to your blog post, then we're going to answer that question, and within this answer, we're going to link back to our blog post. And in order to expedite this process, we're not going to manually write out the answer. We can actually use a software called Jarvis AI. Now, Jarvis AI, if you don't know, is an AI copywriter, and we use it a lot in our business for creating blog posts, for Facebook ads, for website copy, but you can actually use it for Quora answers. So if you're not familiar with Jarvis AI, I highly recommend that you sign up for a free trial and start using it a little bit and see how you can use it in your business. It's an irreplaceable asset within our own business, and for many people that I speak to, they find a lot of uses from Jarvis. So what you'll want to do is head over to Jarvis if you do have it. If not, we'll leave a link below this video and you can sign up for a free 5-day trial. And we're going to search up Quora answers. So we're going to copy the question, but keep in mind that we can only do up to 80 characters. So I'm just going to only put how can I stop hair loss, and then we're going to click generate AI content. And as you can see, once we generated the AI content, we can go through these answers, and whichever one we like the best, or whichever one's most relevant to the answer and our blog post, we can just copy this and then paste it onto the Quora question. And then at the end of the answer, you're going to want to include the link to your full blog post. And you want to continue to do this for as many questions as possible that's related to your blog post. Because when you're using Jarvis AI, you're not taking that much time to come up with an answer. And the more that you do this, the easier it'll be to get more traffic coming in from Quora to your blog post. And keep in mind that once you answer a question, that this is here forever, so you can continuously get traffic from these questions. The second method to ensuring that you get consistent, high quality blog traffic each day is by building a social media following. Now, I know that this can take a little bit of time, but if you have a blog and you want to make sure that you're getting traffic consistently, especially when you're putting out new blogs, you need to build a following. Now, that following can be on social media, it can be on your email list. It doesn't matter where you have that following, but what matters is that when you create a new post, you can then send it out to your followers and start getting traffic. Because we all know if you're waiting on Google to rank your post, you could be waiting for weeks, months, and even years. And while building a social media or an email list can be very tough and time consuming, it doesn't necessarily have to be. We've actually found this new software and we've been using it to help us automate some of the mundane social media tasks that we usually have to do. And essentially what this tool does is that it helps you automate your social media task. So for instance, if I wanted to build a following on Instagram, but I don't want to be on Instagram all day following, liking, commenting, then I can use a tool like this, which will do this for me in the background while I focus on more important things. So there's a variety of different phantoms or automations that you can use. So one of them is called the Instagram auto follow. And what this does is that it auto follows Instagram accounts that you want. So all you have to do is set it up and it'll follow up to one profile per hour. And the reason why we like Phantom Buster so much is because it's very user friendly and you don't need to have a lot of technical knowledge to use this software. And all we have to do is connect your Instagram session cookie. And to do so, all you have to do is download the Phantom Buster Google Chrome add-on. And from there, just log into your Instagram and boom, you can connect to it. Now here is where you'll enter the profiles that you need to follow. So you can enter a single Instagram profile, or you can enter a Google Sheet containing a list of Instagram profile URLs. Now, if you already have a list of profiles, you can put it up on a Google Docs, and then you can include the link for that Google Docs here. Now, if you don't have a list of Instagram profiles, which I think most of us don't, you can come back to the Phantom. And what you want to do is you want to extract the list of profiles followed by an Instagram account. So I'm going to head over to Instagram, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to find the biggest profile that is in the niche that my blog post or my blogs are about. So an example of a very big Instagram profile would be something like this. So they have a lot of followers, and as you can see, it's a pretty large, and it's also within the same niche of skincare. And we're gonna grab their URL. We're gonna go back over to Phantom Buster. Again, we're gonna connect our Instagram. We're gonna save, and then we're going to scrape all of the profiles from this account. We're gonna paste it in here. We're gonna save, and we're gonna take just 100 profiles. You can take as many as you like, and then I'm gonna click save. And then I'm going to keep this as manual notifications. In case there's an error, then they'll send me an email telling me that there's an error within this bot. And then I'm going to click save, and I'm going to launch it. So once I launch it, Phantom Buster is going to grab all of the profiles of 1,000 from this Instagram account. And as you can see, if we click the results, if we're just previewing the results here, we can see all of the Instagram accounts here. So now that we have a list of Instagram accounts, I'm going to go back over to Instagram, Instagram auto follow. I'm going to connect my Instagram again. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my phantom from before, which is the Instagram following collector. So this is where we just collected all of those profiles. So instead of using a URL, we're going to use this phantom. I'm going to click save and I'm going to follow, and we're going to put the number of profiles that we want the phantom to follow each hour. Now, they only recommend a maximum of 1 profile per hour, so you can follow 24 profiles within a day. So I would keep this to whatever the minimum is, the maximum, because if you do go over this, then you do risk your Instagram account being shut down or temporarily banned. So you always want to play within the limits. If you don't, then most likely you'll get a couple of warnings, but you still want to be a little bit careful. And then we're going to click save. And then we're going to click save again. And now we're going to launch this. And what's going to happen is on my Instagram account, I'm going to follow these profiles, at least one of them each hour. So the idea is the same if you want to use any of these LinkedIn phantoms. And another cool thing that you can do is you can send a personalized message to your LinkedIn connections automatically. So let's say I've just created a blog post and I want to send it out to every single person that I'm connected with on LinkedIn. So I can use this phantom, and again, I'm just going to connect my LinkedIn. Once I download the Phantom Buster Google Chrome extension, all I have to do is log into my social media account. So in this case, it would be LinkedIn. So I'm already logged into my LinkedIn. I'll just connect my session cookie. I'm going to click save. And again, within this box is where you're going to choose the URLs in which you want to send a LinkedIn message to. And again, the idea is the same. So if you don't have a list of LinkedIn URLs, then what you want to do is go back. So in order to send a personalized message to your LinkedIn connections, you'd first have to use the LinkedIn contacts extractor. So we'd use this phantom and we'd connect to LinkedIn. We'd click save. And what it's going to do, it's going to extract all of the profiles that's on your LinkedIn. So if you want to extract 500, 1,000, however many people you want to extract from LinkedIn, you can put that number in here. And you want to keep in mind the way that Phantom Buster works is for each day, depending on what plan you're on, you have an amount of time in which you can use the bot for that day. So if you're on the plan, which I believe is the $30 per month plan, you get 1 hour per day. And usually if you're doing any sort of social media automation or any data scraping, an hour is more than enough. But the great thing about Phantom Buster is that you get a 2-week free trial in which you can use it. So we'll leave a link below for an exclusive 2-week trial. You can play around with these phantoms, start setting up your automations, and see how powerful these automations can be. So we'll leave a link below this video so you can get started with using Phantom Buster. And once your phantom is complete, you want to go back over to LinkedIn Message Sender. We're going to use this phantom. We're going to connect to LinkedIn. We're going to use the phantom, which is the LinkedIn contacts extractor. And then what you want to do now is put your message in here. And the cool thing is that you can include the person's first name by using pound first name pound. And you want to just include a very simple message that tells the person, hey, we've just posted a new blog post and I think you may like it. And just leave a link for that blog post. So if you have 1,000 or 2,000 connections on LinkedIn, this is where you'll be able to get a lot of traffic very quickly when you first create your blog post. And the third method in which you can use to start getting more blog post traffic is by updating your post with data, expert insights, case study, or any other high quality information for your blog post. In my experience, blog posts that have expert opinions rank a lot higher and get more traffic. So one example of that is we did a post on a pretty general topic, and this was a post that I wrote about. But instead of me just completing the whole post by myself, I was able to get an expert within that field to give his opinion on a couple frequently asked questions. And to find these experts, all you have to do is head over to Google and type in whichever expert that you're looking for and your local area. The reason why the local area works a lot better is because you're able to call them, or you're able to email them and just get in contact a little bit easier. And you can also let them know that you'll link back to their website from your blog post, which will give them even more traffic as well if they were able to contribute to your post. And when the blog post is finished, you can also try to get that person to post it on their social media, on their email list, or even include it on their website. And the last method to increasing your blog post traffic is something that we both love and hate: backlinks. We recently did a video in which we went over how you can get high quality backlinks in today's day and age. If you want to take a look at that video, we'll leave it below. Attracting high quality backlinks starts with creating very high quality content. So the first strategy that we discussed is the link bait strategy. And what that pretty much entails is you create a piece of content that is the absolute best within your niche. It's the most in-depth, and it's filled with data and relevant information. And from that post, you want to outreach to different websites within your niche to link back to that piece of article. And the idea is because that piece of article is going to be so good that websites will be more than happy to link to them. The second backlink strategy to getting more traffic to your blog post are by doing guest post. Now, guest post is simply when you create a piece of content for a different website. Now, within that piece of content that you create, you can then link back to different articles that you've written about, and the visitors from that website in which you do the guest post on will then visit whichever blog post you insert in that guest post. Now, when you're doing your link bait or your guest post outreach, you need to be as personalized as possible. Sending out a blast of 100 emails that says the same exact thing to every website doesn't get you backlinks like it used to. So an example of what that looks like is this outreach email that we use to get a guest post for a big website. And what we did was we just first briefly introduced ourselves, and from there we let the websites know that we would love to partner with them and write for their audience. But the most important thing that we include in this email is we do a competitor analysis. So we check to see what keywords big competitors are ranking for, but the website in which we're outreaching to does not rank for. And we let them know that we found these keywords that your competitors are ranking for, and we would love to write a post about these keywords. And we find that this approach works very well because 1, it's personalized, 2, we're building value, and 3, it stands out from every other outreach email that these websites get. If you want to see our full backlink tutorial on link bait articles and guest posting, we'll leave a link for those videos in the description below. We hope that you've learned some actionable methods that you can implement to help you increase your blog post traffic today. We'll leave a link and a special bonus for all of the tools that we mentioned in this video below. If you enjoyed this video, then we ask that you give us a thumbs up and that you subscribe for more tutorials. Until the next video, stay well.